in court documents filed today. DA Willis says she wants all 19 defendants in the RICO indictment to go to trial in March.
And she asked that all defendants be arraigned the week of September 5th. As for discovery materials, she wants those turned over by September 29th, with the final pretrial conference to be held on February 20th of next year. She would then like the trial to begin March 4th, 2024, the day before Super Tuesday.
But before anyone can talk about a trial, the 19 people indicted, including the former president, must first turn themselves in at the Fulton County Jail. Prosecutors have given everyone until next week Friday to do that.
Fox 5's Tyler Fingert has been covering the indictment and the process leading up to it for weeks now. He's live at the Fulton County Jail tonight with details on that process. Tyler, what's the expectation?
Well, Russ, good evening to you. Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt says that former President Donald Trump and his 18 allies who were indicted earlier this week will be treated just like everyone else when they show up here at the Rice Street Jail. But a retired Fulton County Sheriff's lieutenant says that's not entirely true. With the countdown clock ticking, former President Donald Trump and 18 others named in a sweeping election meddling indictment have just 9 days left to turn themselves in to the Fulton County Jail.
Doesn't matter your status. We got mugshots ready for you.
Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt says the former president and his alleged co-conspirators will be treated just like anyone else being booked in, a process that includes a pat-down, fingerprinting, a mugshot, and a criminal history check.
This is a formalized procedure of all persons who are remanded into the custody of the sheriff. We want to ensure that this is a process that is consistent with the rule of law and not trying to satisfy public sensationalism.
Charles Rambo is a former Fulton County Sheriff's lieutenant with more than a decade of experience at the jail. He says while Sheriff Labatt is right that everyone will be treated the same on the surface, he says high-profile people are handled differently.
Typically, they would come in through the front door of the jail, go through the same procedures, but would be brought back and just placed ahead of the queue.
Rambo says the reason for the expedited process is about safety. He says in the past there have been documented incidents of violence in the intake area, and it's easier to handle people like the former president separately.
You definitely want to make sure that nothing would happen that otherwise will draw more attention to the case than it deserves.
Former President Trump and his 18 allies named in the indictment have until next Friday to turn themselves in here. At this point, it's unclear if they'll be able to bond out immediately or will have to face a judge to get that bond. We're live in Northwest Atlanta tonight. Tyler Fingert, Fox 5 News.
All right, the world will be watching. Tyler, thanks. A former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows is among the 19 who will come through the Fulton County Jail, though he's already working to move his case from state to federal court. And today, a U.S. District Judge gave Fani Willis, the DA, a chance to respond to that matter in writing. A hearing will be held on Monday, August 28th. That is 3 days after Meadows must turn himself in.
Despite what the former president and his allies have said for now more than 2.5 years, and continue to insist to this very hour, the Georgia election was not stolen, and I had no right to overturn the election on January 6th.
Former Vice President Mike Pence, now candidate for President Mike Pence, acknowledged the indictment of the former president and his 18 allies on the campaign trail today, saying the election, as you heard, was not stolen in our state.
Still, at least 30 unindicted and unidentified co-conspirators tried to give Georgia 16 electoral votes to Donald Trump instead of Joe Biden. And the Fox 5i team has identified Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones as unindicted co-conspirator individual number 8 listed in the indictment. His involvement in the case is limited to only what happened with the so-called fake elector scheme in the days leading up to December 14, 2020. The indictment describes Jones as one of only a handful of people involved in the planning and execution of the alternate elector meeting. When one potential elector refused to go along, Jones took his place. His signature is one of the 16 sent to Congress, falsely certifying that they were the, quote, duly elected and qualified electors from the state of Georgia. Some of them were given immunity by DA Willis, but 3 are among the 19 defendants under indictment.
He set it up, and he ultimately was an alternate elector. If these others are criminally liable, Randy, Mr. Jones is also facing criminal liability as well.
Because of the conflict of interest with the Fulton DA's office, a special prosecutor must be appointed for Burt Jones. The Prosecuting Attorney's Council is in charge of that appointment. We're told they will be filing a motion to get access to the report written by the special purpose grand jury so they can determine independently whether Jones should face charges. Now, Fox 5 is keeping you updated on all developments in this case. Be sure to have the Fox 5 News app for all the updates and alerts. It's free in the App Store.